How's it going, everybody? This is Omar Thabit here from MotivateMe313. Today we are live and we are in the building of Hanley International Academy. The person that I have with me today is Mr. Dominic Sarvello, the Italian King. All right, he is nicknamed the Italian King. For those of you that don't know, need to know who he is. This is an interview that I definitely jotted down. This is one I want to look forward to because so much wisdom is going to be coming out of this interview. I can already feel it. So first of all, Mr. Sarvello, thank you so much for doing this interview, by the way.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me.
For sure. So let's get this interview started, Mr. Sarvello. There's fans out there that have been screaming to hear what you have to say because they want to get to know you. So can you tell us about yourself?
Sure thing. Well, first of all, Omar, I hail from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. That's where I was born and went to school, and I attended Northern Michigan University and graduated with a degree in education, a bachelor's degree in education, and then went on to teach in the Lower Peninsula of Michigan. Was down in a small little town called Bellevue, Michigan, is where I started my teaching career, and then I was teaching, coaching, and then went over to Niles and did the very same thing. Coached football, basketball, and track. And then went back to Northern Michigan University and got a master's degree in school administration. So from there, we went into our administrative duties. I also actually directed a couple of different health agencies throughout the state of Michigan as well. I'm married, have 2 children, a boy and a girl, and I have 4 grandchildren. So that's a little bit about me.
Thank you for sharing that. And so one of the notes that I took out of that is you mentioned that you grew up in the UP, and I personally know Mr. Sarvello. We have great conversations with one another. So I know you grew up with another famous man, a coach that a lot of people may know that are watching this video or that will eventually watch this video. Can you tell us who that is and what's your relationship like with him?
Yes. Well, Tom Izzo is a little younger than I am.
Okay.
But he also graduated from Northern Michigan University, and was involved in basketball up there as a point guard, and I watched him play many different times, and I guess the best way that you could describe Izzo is that he is the epitome of tenaciousness. He played the point guard for Northern Michigan, was a mad on defense, and just the field general on offense. And he was destined to do great things, and of course that's been proven out. It was interesting because several years ago, well, quite a few years ago, I attended a football game with Tom Izzo, and at that time he was what they would call a student coach at Michigan State University. And I guess I bring this up because it just goes to show you what hard work really lets you accomplish. But at that time he was a student coach, and he was living in the basement of some faculty member at Michigan State University. Probably wasn't getting paid very much, but was learning and trying to get into the business. But it's just a point that he started at the bottom and moved his way up to where he is now.
And for those that don't know who is Tom Izzo, Tom Izzo is the head coach of the Michigan State Spartans basketball team. Probably on my list of favorite people that I would love to meet. I think Tom Izzo is probably number 1 on my list, just because of the coach that he is, the way that he carries himself. I kind of I kind of watch him, and I kind of take some stuff that he does and kind of try to take it with me when I coach as well. So, and obviously he's from Michigan State, so he's just a great guy all around. Besides the coaching stuff, he's just a great person all around. And so, yeah, that's who he is talking about. Who's Mr. Sarvello was talking about. You have any last words on that one? Looks like, I don't know if you wanted to add something about that.
No, I think I share the same feelings with you because I think he, has the welfare of his basketball players in their best interests, and I really respect that in a coach.
Thank you for sharing that, and I hope that you continue to share great stories that you have with Tom Izzo, because I always love to hear those. So you work in Hemtramic. I know you mentioned to me that you have been working in Hemtramic for 12 years.
Yeah.
So can you tell me, what is it like working in Hemtramic?
It's interesting. I find Hamtramck very comfortable as a community. And I think the reason for that is that it kind of mirrors the community that I grew up in, a place that I mentioned before, Hemtramic. Hemtramic is sort of a blue-collar town made up primarily of one industry, mining. And like Hamtramck is made up of the automobile and working in the automobile plants, and that's how it got started. So when I'm in Hamtramck, I get the same feeling that that I get when I go to my hometown.
And so a guy from the UP comes down to the city, works in Hemtramic, and you're saying that you get that same kind of feeling. That's amazing. Doesn't matter where you're at. And I know people say like the UP is like a whole nother country. I mean, a whole nother state too in Michigan, but doesn't matter where you're at. You say you get that same feeling from where you were at home as well. So that is awesome. What makes you so passionate about being in the field of education? Because if I'm correct, you said you've been in the field of education for about 25 years, which is a very respectable time in being in any kind of field. So what makes you so passionate?
Well, it's interesting because when I got into the field of education and I came out of Northern Michigan University as a health and physical education and also coach, and I didn't have didn't realize at all just what an important part teachers play in the education of kids and also their families. I just look at this as such a profound responsibility, and when you look at teaching and you look at teachers and what they're set up to do, they have such just an important influence on the families and the kids that they teach. And as a young teacher, I didn't realize that. I just had no inkling at all. And so that was one of the things I think that that just kind of strikes me. It's just a tremendous responsibility that educators have. When we talk about preparing kids for their future endeavors, it's just that's very inspiring to me, actually.
And I didn't write this question down, so I'm just going to ask you this. So, what are your thoughts about all the stuff that is going on in education right now with online learning and just everything being shut down face to face? Because I know this has to be the first time that probably you've had to deal with this, even in your 25-year career.
Yeah, it is. It certainly is very, very unique and very, very challenging. For everybody involved. The teachers, the administrators who have to plan and see, what direction we're going to be going. The teachers who carry out the plans, and then even when you get down to the students that have to be organized enough in their homes to go ahead and to do online learning, and the parents then also have to go ahead and be part of this equation. And it's very, very difficult, I think. But, you know, it's going to be something that we're going to have to learn to do, because we may be called to do this on many other occasions. You can never tell. I think, you know, like anything else, I think there's going to be some good that's going to come out of this. And I think part of it is going to, one of the things I think that's being realized is just how important teachers are. Parents have come to us and said, "Oh my goodness, you know,
I appreciate you guys so much, huh?"
I never realized what you had to go ahead and do and what you had to go ahead and put up with. But I think there's going to be some good that's going to come out of it, and I think that obviously it's new and challenging.
Definitely, and you know, as a leader in this building, you're doing a great job with helping us get through this as well. So we appreciate that, Mr. Sarvello. For those of you that don't know who Sarvello is, man, he's always a busy man. He's always doing something, especially for this school. I know you're one of the people that broke grounds in this school, that made this school happen. Until this day, you're always doing things. So what do you like doing for leisure? What do you like doing for fun? You know, I like to ask people this question because people don't see maybe this other side of Sarvello, that you know, the fun side that has a good time, and you know. So what do you like doing for fun?
Well, you know, I'm a golfer. Not a very good golfer, but I golf, and I'm always up to the challenge of improving my game, I guess, and that's one of the things that I like. I get a kick out of gardening and doing things in my yard. And also, I'm a reader. I've read some during this pandemic, and while at home, I've probably read somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 or 6 different books that are rather large books and very interesting. But so that's what I like to do. One of the things that I get involved with, though, is I'm a member of the Exchange Club of Detroit, #1, and we are a community service organization that has a focus on kids. We actually give 2 different scholarships out a year, and also we our national project is the prevention of child abuse and neglect. So one of the things that we do, though, is we try to raise money for those projects, and I get involved that way. So that takes up some of my time as well.
Awesome, man, and again, always working, even for his leisure. Some of his leisure activities are work activities as well. So we appreciate that. So my next question is, you know, I always ask this to every one of my guests, is what gets you up every morning? Like, what is your motivational factor, Mr. Sarvello?
Well, you know, it's not too difficult, because I get up in the morning probably around 4:30 or 5 o'clock. And one of the first things I do is I go out. When the gym was open, I was in the gym by 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would go through my workout. And so that was the way I started my day. But one of the things now that with the gyms being closed, one of the things now I want to be able to go out and I walk. And I walk different distances. And one day I might do 45 minutes, another day I might do an hour and 15 minutes or something along that. But so I do my stretches and some of my light workout. That's one of the things I get up and do that. But one of the things that gets me out of bed is that having a job that you really like and being connected with people that you really care for, it's not very difficult to do that. Just having that opportunity of being part of a team that is ensuring the future of kids is very motivational to me and gets me up.
Thank you for sharing that, and I agree with you 100% on that one as well. So, for someone who may be walking in the same or similar footsteps as you, what advice would you give them? Motivate me.
Well, I guess one of the major things is to find something that you really like. Somebody once said that if you have a job that you really like and you get a real kick out of that job, you're not going to work a day in your life. And so I think that that's one of the things. But I think I've always liked being part of a team, having people that I have to depend on and people that have to depend on me for whatever reason. But I really I really think being part of a team is what it's all about. One of the things that and I don't know if you can catch this on your camera, but maybe you can later. But I have a sign on my wall, and it says very simply. It says 100 years from now, it will not matter what kind of car I drove, or what kind of house I live in, or how much money I had in my bank account, nor what my clothes look like. But the world may be a little bit better because I was important in the life of a child. And I think that is something that actually has driven me. And really where I come from. So that's pretty much what drives me, and what makes me excited about education.
Thank you for sharing that. Like I mentioned, Mr. Sarvello already. First of all, the Italian King. For those that are watching, that's my nickname for him. By the way, he's the Italian King in the building. The original, the OG, Mr. Sarvello. That's who he is. This is just me want to share this with you. You honestly are like a father figure to so many people in this building, including myself, my sister, and all the other workers here. And thank you for everything, honestly. Like, when I see you, you are a walking motivation. I tell myself, I want to look like him. When I get to that age, I want to look like Mr. Sarvello, because you're healthy, you move around, you're always active, and it's very impressive. It's so impressive, and I don't know if people understand that, you are doing great things. And so I really do appreciate that, and I want to share that with you. You got any final words out there for people that are watching before we end this interview? Any final words?
Oh, goodness. No, just stay motivated, I guess, and just know where you're going to be going in life, and find your path and move toward the goal.
There you go. Find your path and move towards the goal. Mr. Sarvello from Hanley International Academy, parent/student coordinator. Correct name, right? That's the title by your name. If I'm correct, that's parent/student coordinator.
Yes.
From Hanley International Academy. Mr. Sarvello, thank you for doing this interview. For those that are watching, thank you for tuning in. And those that will eventually watch, make sure you like the comment. Like or share, comment. Do whatever you like. Appreciate it. And have a great day.
Thank you.